Hello, everyone. Welcome to this show. Welcome to the chat show where we talk about empathy, employment, and innovation, where we bring in experts from the staffing industry, disability community, and neurodiversity community, and we talk about empathy at workplace, employment for everyone, with the mission to create employment for everyone, inclusive of people with disability and people on the autism spectrum and disabled veterans. Today's guest is Dr. Dave Ulrich. He is Rancis Likert Professor at the Ross School of Business, University of Michigan, and a partner at the RBL Group, a consulting firm focused on helping organizations and leaders deliver value. He has published over 200 articles and books and chapters, over 30 books. He edited Human Resource Management 1990 to 1999, served on editorial board of 4 journals, and a board of director for Herman Miller for 16 years. He has spoken to large audience in 90 countries, performed workshops over half of the Fortune 200 companies, coached successful business leaders, and a distinguished fellow in the National Academy of Human Resources. With that, Dr. Ulrich, welcome to the show.
Nish, what a privilege. Thank you. I wish I had an empathy t-shirt. So I have empathy in my mind and in my heart, not on my t-shirt. So thank you. What a
I will
delight
make
to be
sure
with you.
that you get the t-shirt also, and I'm pretty sure you have empathy in your mind and heart, both the way you have written all these amazing books and articles and how you have connected thousands and hundreds of thousands of people all over the world. So I'm pretty sure you are a very empathetic human being.
You're kind. I hope so. Never enough. Never enough. Well, thank you. What a privilege to join you and to have a chat with you and to learn with you about what can be done in organizations to help people have employment, empathy, and innovation.
Thank you. Thank you. So Dave, you have been talking to all these great leaders and coaching and training during this pandemic, during this difficult time. How do you coach or retrain leaders, or have you on empathy? Because as you know, as you mentioned, empathy is very important, and during this time it's even more important. So please share your thoughts on empathy and leadership.
You know, one of the things that's happened in this pandemic is we become socially distant.
Yeah.
I'm in my office, and I welcome you to my office. Are you in your office, Nish?
Yes, I am my home office. Yes.
So what's the picture behind you? What's the award? I want to learn about you.
I went to HBS. HBS, Harvard Business School, has a program called Owner President Management Program, where we went through this training for 2.5, 3 years. And the first year we analyze, our business. We come up with the solution and measure the success. So it's a beautiful curriculum developed by Harvard Business School, where designed for entrepreneurs. It's called Owner President Management Program.
Oh, that's the OPM program.
That's right.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Let me use what I just did as an example. I think we're socially distanced.
Yeah.
There's no question. Everyone in the world, in the United Kingdom today, I think the government has just put in place another month of quarantine throughout Europe, in different spots in the United States. But social distance doesn't mean social isolation. That I think sometimes we assume that because we're seeing each other through Zoom or some other technology or some other platform, we're not connected. In fact, I think the opposite can be true. I now just learned something about you at a personal level because I got the glimpse into your office. You get the glimpse into my office. And I think sometimes we allow the technology to distance us rather than to connect us. And part of, I think, empathy is having the capacity to listen, to understand, and to show concern for each other, and to show that sense of caring. Hopefully in this new world that social distance is not social isolation. That's what I hope we're able to begin to show.
Yeah, absolutely. That's so true. And also my experience is with this technology and this social distancing, we have even become more human
Yeah.
because now I was talking to somebody and they said, multiple me, and I have 84-year-old my mom, and a lot of times they will just walk into my room, my office, and so that's and people, they understand. We all
That's
understand.
wonderful. That's
That is
wonderful.
that is
You
so
know,
beautiful.
when I do talks, I have a folder,
Yeah,
and this is not a talk, it's an interview, and it's a folder full of pictures of my wonderful family. And
yeah.
so I get to introduce people to my family at Disney World. I get to introduce people to my well, let's find this one. Ooh, there's my lovely wife. Um, there's my wonderful mother with her son. That's me and my son and our grandson. And so I think
Beautiful.
sometimes we can actually use what seems like distancing to actually connect with each other. And some of that empathy is recognizing the person more than just the title or the role. And so one of the things I think we're finding about leaders today is leadership is not just getting the job done. Leadership is building the relationships among people so that I love a term, and it comes out of religion, all kinds of religion, Muslim, Judaism, Christianity. It talks about the state of Zion, and Zion is a term. For me, the definition of Zion is where everyone has something to give. Everyone has something to contribute, no matter who you are. And Zion is a community or a setting where everyone has something to offer. And if we can create that mindset in the organization, then what happens is we create organizations or systems that need to succeed. I'm not ever going to say this is not just about social good. It's about success in a marketplace because of the way that we treat each other. And I hope we can begin to create that bridge.
Oh, that is so beautiful, and I know you always mention and you talk about that it's not about what we work on, where we work from, but the value we build for our customers. So tell us a little bit about that. So
I
that's
love
so
the idea
amazing.
because when we've socially distanced, everybody said, wow, we're working at home, find your own office with a beautiful plaque from Harvard. Congratulations. I don't have a plaque from Harvard. Uh, um, and, find a private place, find a clothes to wear. I think that's irrelevant. And one of the things I think we're learning in the last 10 months that I'm learning is we used to define work as a place.
Mhm.
So I get up in the morning, I take transportation to work, I'm at work, and I come home from work. And work is a physical place. Today, that's just not true because where I work, I'm in my office. You're in your office. The translator is in her home office, and she's doing a great job. I want her to translate that. I am doing a great job as translator. Uh, um, we can be in a coffee shop in Silicon Valley. You can take a bus to work, and in the bus, Apple's now made that a remote office. And so everybody's working in a separate place.
Yeah.
But an organization has to have a boundary. There has to be something that defines who we are and come together. The boundary are the values we have,
Mhm.
particularly the value about serving others or serving our customers. So the question I'm encouraging leaders to say is talk to an employee. I don't care where you work. You could work at home, you could work at a hotel, you could work on an airplane, you could work in a rest stop or in a restaurant even. What did you do today that created value for our customers? That helped them be successful because of what we do as a company. And if the employee doesn't have an answer to that, they're not at work today. That work is not a place, it's the creation and capturing of value for others. I find that fascinating. And so, for example, we have a daughter who is homeschooling because of the coronavirus. So she's with her kids from 8 to 2, and then she does some of her work in the evening from 6 to 10. It doesn't matter as long as she's doing things from a time period where her work is living the values of the company and creating value for those that she serves. I love that definition. There's still a border. It's hard to have a company without any boundary, without any border, but the border is not physical, it's value based.
Right, right. So, one of the things which we all struggle as a leader and with setting up the systems and processes, and it's not about babysitting or kind of tracking the productivity, but as an organization, how do you how do you see organizations measuring the real value built by employees in a more empathetic way? Because we have multiple roles to play and we all struggle. We have some folks, they live in small homes or small houses, and they really struggle during this time. So how do you really measure that?
Um, Two comments. The first is ultimately the best thing an organization can give an employee. It's a great question. What's the best thing I, as a leader or an organization, can give my employees? Is it a sense of belief? Is it a sense of belonging? Is it a sense of becoming better? I think the best thing we can give our employees is an organization that succeeds in the marketplace. I get a lot of pushback because they say, well, that's not caring. Well, if you're not successful as a company in the marketplace, there is no workplace. And so the challenge then becomes, how do we connect what we do with our employees to success in the marketplace? Because if it's all about, well, whatever you want to do as an employee, we'll let you do it. By the way, I've worked with companies. I probably shouldn't name them. And they had the value. Whatever you want, it's okay with you. We don't have to succeed. Well, guess what? Those companies don't exist anymore. And they've devastated thousands of employees. So my first premise is, how do we connect what we know and do with what builds value in the marketplace? What that means is, my second point, a year ago, this month in November, I don't know the date, the Business Roundtable, 180 CEOs of large companies, mostly in North America, put out a proposal, and it said profit and purpose. And I thought about that a lot. It sounded really good. And then I said, you've got a word wrong. And whoa, that's a problem. Here's my word: profit through purpose. It's not profit and purpose. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday we'll make money. Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday we'll have a purpose. No, those have to be integrally, I can't even say it because I didn't go to Harvard. They have to be, that's a joke. They've got to be very connected.
So beautiful. Love it.
So here's the finding.
Yeah.
Why do we care about empathy? Why do we care about emotion? Why do we care about the well-being of our people?
Yeah.
Here's the research. The correlation between employee sentiment, whatever you call sentiment, that could be attitude, commitment, well-being, emotional, psychological safety, is generally 0.6 to 0.8 with customer sentiment. So one reason I care about employees is it's the right thing to do. I know for you, it is the right thing to do at a value level. But here's the other reason. If I care about my people, they in turn will care about their customers. And there's a correlation, and there's a lead and a lag effect. When my employees feel taken care of and nurtured and cared for, they'll care for the customers better. And we'll make more money. The rule of thumb, I love rules of thumb with research. A 10% increase on employee sentiment, empathy, engagement, well-being, will lead to about a 5% increase on customer connection, net promoter score, customer well-being. And that will lead to a 2.5% increase in profitability. So now I've got a value chain. Yes, empathy is the right thing to do. I don't know very many people who would disagree with that. By the way, if they do disagree with that, I'll just shut up here. I'm talking too long. If they do disagree with that, place them in your competitor because you don't want them working for you, and they'll destroy your competitor. But when I see the value of empathy inside as a mechanism to create customer connection outside, as a way to build success in the marketplace so that we have a virtuous cycle, then empathy becomes a lead indicator of what a good company can become.
That is so beautiful. They really appreciate it. So at Rangam, my tagline is empathy drives innovation every day. And this innovation is focused on societal impact. And truly, this is exactly what, as our core business is staffing, we provide workforce solution to our customers. But how do we add value to what we are offering? Because finding the talent, any staffing company can do. How do we add value? And that's what we have taken empathetic approach to learn and engage and understand these pain points of people with disability, people on the spectrum, and how do we help them find meaningful job and build more holistic approach towards building the workforce. So it is so much in align with our philosophy. So thank you for sharing your wisdom. I really appreciate that. But they, these the one of my favorite the one of the video I watched, you talk about the Disney and your trip to Disney, and that's what really inspired me to get connected to you and reach out to you and say, can we talk? It was so beautiful. Can you please share that?
Absolutely.
So beautiful, and
It's a great story. It's a fun story. It's a true story. And I'll get to show a picture or two.
Yeah, thank you.
And then I'll tell the story. Then I'll come back to the principle.
Okay.
Our son finished his PhD. I showed a picture of our son, and we said to our son, "What would you like as a gift for the PhD?" And he said, "I have 4 daughters. We want to go to Disney in Florida." And I thought about it. I said, "Well, that's okay." And then our daughter said, "We want to go to Disney," with her 2 kids. And then our other daughter said, "We want to go to Disney." So lo and behold, 16 of us showed up at Disney.
Yeah.
That's our 16 of us. And in Florida, it's hot,
family.
and it's humid, and you have to walk a lot. And we had, I think, 2 or 3 children or grandchildren in diapers. And our son said, "We've got to stay on the property, because then you can take the monorail. You get the full Disney experience." I said, "Okay." I'm grumpy. And we took this picture on the first morning of the first day. And the woman who took the picture said, "What a lovely family. This is the happiest place on earth." And my comment was, "Not for me. I'm the grandfather. It's going to 3 days at Disney, 4 nights in a hotel. I'm not going to buy a car, because I'm going to spend all the money going to Disney, and I'm going to sweat, and I'm going to have a bad experience." Net, we walked a day or 2 later. We walked into a room, and out walked, I'll show 2 pictures here. Out walked, I think it's Cinderella.
Mm-hmm.
Here's our granddaughters. Out walked Snow White. Our granddaughters stopped, and they stared. And they turned around, and they said, "Grandpa, she's real." Because we had seen the books and the movies. "Grandpa, she's so beautiful." And she hugged, and they connected in a very personal way. And then they said, "Grandpa, thank you. We love you." And by the way, my heart was touched, and I felt the empathy. I felt the love. And then I thought, oh no, this is terrible. Why? Because we're going to have to go back again and again and again. And so, again, showing pictures. So last year, we did a Disney cruise. Now we're taking a cruise on Disney Magic with our son and his family. We've gone back to Disney again. Now, why do I go through that story? A lot of people say our people are our most important asset. I think they've got it wrong. I think it's our people are our customers' most important asset. What Disney does brilliantly is they organize their internal people and organization so that I, as a guest, will have an incredible experience. This woman, I have no idea what her name is, Princess or something. Look at how she loves the children. She gets the children to feel so good. They then turn to me, and I spend an enormous amount of money building success or building their business success. I think the message that you have that's so powerful are people with disability. They may be on the spectrum. They may be disabled. They may be handicapped. Those people are our customers' most important asset. And when our customers see what we're doing with those people, they then, as customers, can feel confident that we will treat that customer with equal respect. We'll honor them. We'll respect them because we respect our employees. When we treat our customers with the same respect that we treat our employees and vice versa, both come out successful. It's why the kind of work that you do is so powerful, because it's not only the right thing to do socially. And everybody, I mean, by the way, anybody who's reasonably competent would agree with that. Yes, we should care for people. Yes, we should create a Zion community where everybody has something to offer. But the good news is it also creates economic value. And it creates a virtuous cycle that when we treat our people well, they treat our customers well, our investors feel well treated. And that cycle repeats itself so that we can, it's not a cycle, it's a spiral. And the spiral repeats itself so that we can continue to give more value. It sounds like you've done that with your company, that as you treat your people well, they treat their customers well, who in turn treat the people well, and the spiral allows us to grow and expand. It doesn't always work that way, but that's what Disney does, and they do it, and they've done it beautifully.
Yeah, and that's what is, and I learned from you and that show that that's how the brand is built, and that success is all driven by how we are building and creating shared values. So one of the thing I always talk about, and in United States, 1 out of 5 individuals has some kind of a disability. Only 3 out of 10 is employed. Just imagine 1 out of 5, so 20%, and only 3 out of 10 are employed. It's a huge untapped area, and that workforce. And the beautiful thing is now leaders whom you work with, they have recognized that it is the right. It's not only just right thing to do. It's really if we recognize their strength and identify that and work and focus on their strength and help their weaknesses, it is a beautiful thing. It's a win-win for everyone. So any thoughts on that, Vince?
Absolutely. I'm coaching a leader, and the line I use with the leader is, your job as a leader is to use your power to empower others. And so it's the same idea that good leadership is not what I do. It's not even that I'm authentic. It's not that I tell people what I feel. Good leadership is that I create leadership in the next generation. I don't know, Nish, if you have children, yes, but the job of a parent is to build the next generation. That's right. Well, the job of a leader is to build the next generation of leadership within his company. And I think that empowering others is so critical. The other thing that I think is so critical, I play in a university setting. Some universities like Michigan or Harvard or others, they take students that are at the 95th percent level, and when they're done, they're at 96. I mean, they take great students and they leave as equally good students. What I love is the universities. I've been on the board of a university. We take students at the 68th percent level, and when they leave, they're at the 90th percent. They may not be at 95, but we've taken them where they are and we moved them up. I think those are the kinds of institutions that are so meaningful. In one of the universities I work with, the line is, come as you are, with your strengths, your weaknesses, your education, your disabilities. We have a place for you. We will help you leave as you can become. And so we may take you in at a 65% level. Stay with us. You may not be the 96 or 97. That's okay. But it's kind of like a par score. We'll take you wherever you are and improve you. I think that's what ultimate leadership is about. That leadership is about investing in the next generation and taking people from wherever they are to help them discover where they can be.
I love it. So leaders, as you said, leaders, they have power to empower others, right? That's what. So let me ask you this question. How do you see yourself influencing these leaders? That is even more powerful. So share your thoughts. I think that is.
And by the way, I'm not sure I'm successful. So let's just be honest. But one is, I think ideas have impact. And I think getting the ideas like the ones we're talking about today,
Yeah.
I think ideas do have impact, and I think it's helpful. But it's not just the social impact. I want to go back to that.
Yeah.
When I get to work with a leader to be more empathetic, to be more innovative, to have more emotion, to have better employment, there's also an economic impact. This isn't just a social thing that I'll do when I'm done with work. This is my work.
Mhm.
And then I love to coach leaders on the behavior. Most leaders I know don't have bad intent. I mean, my intent is to help be successful. I don't know any leaders that says I'm going to disavow, I'm going to disparage somebody who's disabled. Nobody would do that. If they're a thought, well, by the way, there are some who do it, but they're not thoughtful leaders. So my job is to help them with that intent. Let me give an example. I'm coaching a leader right now who's brilliant, absolutely brilliant, has created a company beyond anything any one of us could imagine. He's also very demanding. He yells, he shouts, he swears to get the work done to create a good company. A couple of weeks ago, one of the employees made a mistake. Pretty serious mistake. It was going to cost quite a bit of money.
Mhm.
I told the leader I'm coaching, I won't name obviously him or her or the company, show me the email you're going to send that employee as a reprimand. And he did. And he said, I didn't swear, I didn't yell, but I said, you made this mistake, it cost us this money, and you must get better. And I said, may I edit that? And this is how I try to do it with very specific things. And he said, what would you say? And I said, before you say this is a mistake, this is the cost, this is what you must do, put a sentence in the front. I am committed to your improvement as a leader. I want you as a leader to reach your full potential. So I'm going to give you suggestions that will help you do a better job. You made a mistake. This is what you did wrong, and this is what you should improve. That sentence at the beginning, I'm here to help you become a better leader. I'm going to give you suggestions that will help you reach your potential. Suddenly, he's framed the problem in the context of helping the employee. When I coached him later, in fact, earlier, late last week, he said, that employee came to me and said, thank you.
Yeah.
He said, I don't think you were trying to punish me with the mistake. By the way, you made a mistake. We can't walk away from that. You made a mistake. But the mistake becomes an opportunity for me to help you get better. That's the kind of coaching I hope you do. I know you do. I can sense it in your spirit, in your energy. That's the kind of work that I hope all of us can do.
But Dave, that is absolutely empathetic approach, right?
I hope so.
That what you shared with the leader, that if this was you and if you have made a mistake, how would you expect your boss to do it? This is exactly what empathetic leader is. So beautiful. Thank you for sharing that story, which is very much in align with what we believe, and what we do, and what we how we work with our own people and everyone. In my view, every one of us is empathetic. It's our range is different, right? So what you just did, Dave, is you just helped that leader to extend that empathy to someone where this was a challenging incident. So I think that's a beautiful thing, that you are helping leaders to expand their empathetic approach towards day-to-day activities. So
If I were to give one idea, and I know our time's about up,
yeah,
here's my simple test of leadership.
yeah,
And I ask leaders this question, I'd ask it to you. When people leave an interaction with you, whatever the interaction is, positive, negative, long-term, short-term, database, not database, do they leave feeling better or worse about themselves? And to challenge a leader, your job and challenge as a leader is that when leaders leave an interaction with you, they leave feeling better about themselves. What a simple test.
absolutely.
What a simple test.
Absolutely.
Anyway, thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much, Dave. Thank you for sharing your wisdom, your expertise with our audience. We truly appreciate your time, and really, I personally enjoyed this conversation and learned a lot. So thank you for your time again.
Thank you.
And thank you everyone for joining. We will continue our empathetic conversations with experts, thought leaders from the staffing industry, HR community, the procurement and disability community. We will continue our conversation. And again, thank you everyone. Thank you, Dave. Wish you all the best, and take care. Stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you.